Act 1 of Falstaff's Wedding, 1766 version, by William Kenrick. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit Librivox.org. Falstaff's Wedding, a comedy, as it is acted at the Theatre Royal in Drury Lane, being a sequel to the second part of the play of King Henry IV, written in imitation of Shakespeare, by W. Kenrick. Advertisement. The success which a juvenile sketch of this play hath met in public, having induced the author to bring it on the stage, he flatters himself the alterations, which were thought necessary to accommodate it to a theatrical audience, will not give less satisfaction to the reader than such scenes as he was obliged on that account to reject. Prologue. Spoken by Mr. Dodd, in the character of Mercury. Mercury descends from the clouds, flying across the stage, re-enters, followed by a servant, carrying a counsellor's gown and wig.
A la Mercure, equipped from top to toe. My godship's name and quality you know. Commissioned from Apollo, I come down to attend this bench of justices, the town. Assembled here, all members of the quorum, to lay a matter of complaint before 'em. The errand's not in character, 'tis true, but what our betters bid us, we must do. Therefore, to appear with decency at session, I've stoled, you see, the garb of the profession. This gown and band belong to Sergeant Prigg, and this our brother Puzzle's learned wig.
Putting on the gown, etc.
Dress makes the man, sirs, vestis virum facit. So, now to business. Si vestis placet. May please your worships, forgery, which is grown to such a height as ne'er before was known. I say a forgery hath been committed, by which King Pluto's myrmidons, outwitted, certain choice spirits in theatrical shape have suffered from Elysium to escape. Of Shakespeare's offspring and ideal train sprang, Pallas-like, from an immortal brain. Their names, I have 'em down, but to be brief, shall only just enumerate the chief. In primis, with Madeira swelled and sack, is Sir John Falstaff, alias called Plump Jack. Next, Captain Pistol, a notorious bully, and Miss Dol Tearsheet, famed for jilting Cully. The widow Quickley, Vintner, bawd, and whore, with Bardolph, Peto, Nym, and several more, linked in a gang, each cut-purse with his crony, all arrant thieves and dramatis personae, bent, as supposed, to prostitute to shame the aforesaid Shakespeare's honour, name, and fame. I shall not trespass on your worship's time to explain at full the nature of this crime, but, poets having an exclusive right to bring their mental progeny to light, this right's invaded by the party impeached, who, vi et armis, hath the old bard overreached. By counterfeiting of his hand, do you see, feloniously to set these vagrants free, with base design to adopt them for his own, though Shakespeare's property, and his alone. Such is the fact. A critic were an ass, no doubt, to let such imposition pass, nor could a cheat so palpably succeed, but that the captain of the guard couldn't read. No, not for laughing, though to have saved his soul, the scene and circumstances were so droll. Pistol, with yellow nightcap patched with red, with Mother Quickley was retired to bed, and, waking, swore by Styx he would not come sans preparation, pike, and beat of drum. Of aqua vitae having stole a flagon, Bardolph and Nym were playing at snapdragon, sometimes proceeding from hard words to blows, as by mistake Nym seized on Bardolph's nose. With Falstaff sat Dol Tearsheet cheek by jowl, and while she bussed his chin and scratched his poll, slipped from his thumb his grandsire's copper ring, for love, not the value of the thing, then stole his empty purse, but no abuse, 'twas only done to keep her hand in use. He swearing he'd be damned as soon as trust his round Ballymorthen Hall or his Chief Justice. But this is wandering from the point. They're here, and on your summons ready to appear. Please to proceed then to examination, and be attentive to their information. If, as your judgment cannot be erroneous, you take this forgery to be felonious, the author meaning fraud, I need not mention your issuing warrants for his apprehension, and when you've caught and into pieces tore him, hung up his mangled carcass in terrororum, in flagrant crimes the process should be short. The law is clear. I leave it with the court.
Dramatis Persona.
Sir John Falstaff. Read by John Hunter.
Justice Shallow. Read by Adrian Stevens.
Master Slender. Read by João Senna.
Mr. Pleadwell, a lawyer. Read by Winnifred Assmann.
Dr. Caius, read by Inkell.
Friar Lawrence, read by Larry Wilson.
Ancient Pistol, read by Alan Mapstone.
Bardolph, read by Sonali.
Corporal Nym, read by
BeeswaxcandleGadshill, read by David Purdy.
Officer, read by Inkell.
Francis, read by Stacey M.
Jack Rugby, read by David Purdy.
Mercury, read by Todd.
Dame Ursula,
Afterwards Lady Falstaff,
read by valroth.
Bridget, her chambermaid, read by ShrimpPhish.
Mrs. Quickley, read by Winnifred Assmann.
Dol Tearsheet, read by Jenn BrodaStage.
Stage Directions, read by Agnes Robert BehrEditing. Falstaff's Wedding, Act 1, Scene 1, a street in Westminster. On the day of the coronation of King Henry V. Enter Sir John Falstaff, solus.
What a scurvy quarter is this? Not a bush or blind Cupid in the neighbourhood. Splud, my legs will fail me ere I reach a tavern. Pooh, pooh! It is some comfort, however, I escaped with my life. The green-aproned rascals, crowding after the procession, had well nigh made an end of me.
Scene 2. Enter Bardolph.
Oh, Sir John, I am glad I have found ye. I was in the fearfullest quandary for you in the world. I hope your honour has got no hurt.
Not its death's wound, I hope, though Hal indeed looked somewhat cold upon me.
Cold, Sir John. I am afeard we shall be in limbo shortly, for my Lord Chief Justice—
Hold thy ill-omened croaking. If faithful services are thus requited, I will turn cordwainer, yea, cobbler, and heel piece old shoes, ere I have to do with blood royal again. Ingratitude, I hate it.
To be sure, Sir John, what you say is right. For as the song says, ingratitude is worse than the sin of witchcraft. But I hoped your honour got no personable harm in the mob. You was carried off the terrace, for all the world, like a dunghill from Millbank by a springtide.
Bardolph, away with thy filthy comparisons. I am ill at ease, and more disposed to spleen than to merriment. I pry thee, look out, and see if there be a bawdy house at hand.
What, here? So near the court, Sir John?
Where better? Splud, dost thou think there are no whores at court? Are there no dames of honour? Dost think Hal hath banished them too? Look out, look out.
I will, Sir John.
Exit Bardolph. Scene 3. Sir John Falstaff, soulless.
I would I were in Eastcheap. Mine hostess hath a most excellent cordial, and I never stood in more need of it than now. The gross indignity hell hath put upon me sticks in my throat, and, in the end, may go near to choke me. I shall never gulp it down, that's flat, unless, indeed, a full cup of sherry's help to clear the way, and then how I shall stomach it, how I shall digest it, heaven knows. At present, both my person and knighthood are in jeopardy. My Lord Chief Justice, to whose care I am commended, holding me not altogether in good liking. But no matter. If I am to be provided for, what avails it who is my caterer? I could wish, nevertheless, old white wine stood higher in his lordship's favour, that I may not be stinted at table or in my by-drinkings. I like not such splenetic temperaments, such phlegmatic constitutions, greybeards, that never make allowances for the continual waste of radical moisture. Sblood, I am as foundered and as sore as a blind horse in a mill. Bardolph, where a plague art thou gotten to? Caterwauling?
Scene 4. Enter Mrs. Quickley and Dol Tearsheet.
Oh, Sir John Falstaff.
Oh, sweet Sir John.
How, mine hostess, and my good vestal Mrs. Tearsheet, save ye gentlewomen both good morrow.
God help you, Sir John. Well, I vow and protest, and I didn't say he would take a civil notice of his old acquaintance. Nay, though if he was created by my Lord Mayor of London.
What talk ye of Lord Mayors and fusty citizens? Gossip quickly? Sir John is a courtier, and to be sure we must gratulate him now as one of the greatest knights in the nation. Oh, sweet Sir John.
Truce with your formalities, Mrs. Dorothy. Pray, have you seen none of our followers, by the way? Pistol, nor Petto?
No, verily, Sir John, not one. We have seen nothing of any of them today. They are all gone to the coronation, I warrant. And indeed, we should have been there too, hadn't it been for that wicked villain, Constable Fang, that by a mistake of the beadle of our ward would have carried us to Bridewell this morning.
How, mine hostess, and my fair Dorothy, to Bridewell?
Even to Bridewell, I can assure you.
But how? How? Dame Quickley to Bridewell, a decent church-going widow and a modest maiden, I should say single gentlewoman, to a house of correction. Why, what?
So I said, Sir John. Nuthook, says I. Do you know what you do, says I? Have me to Bridewell, says I. I say to Bridewell, indeed. A reputable housekeeper that has paid scot and lot and borne the burthen of half the parish any time these 20 years.
That thou hast, hostess. Of the male half I'll be sworn for thee.
Besides, says I, do you know Sir John Falstaff, says I. Touch a hair of Mrs. Dorothy's head, says I, and Sir John will make you smart for it, says I. Every bone in your skin, says I.
And what said the rascal to that?
Said, Sir John. He stood mum-chance, and spoke never a living syllable, but set his vinegar-visaged catchpoles upon us, who fastened their claws into Mrs. Tearsheet's best kirtle, and tore it into as many rents and tatters as there were in the old tapestry hangings I pawned to fit your honour out for the last expedition.
Pwah!
Yes, indeed, Sir John, made a mere tatterdemalion of me. But we did so tongue the leather-eared vultures.
That they were glad to loose their gripe to get rid of you, I suppose?
Nay, Sir John, I was obliged to produce an angel to convince them we were not the parties indicted.
Infidel rogues! Would nothing less than the testimony of an angel convince them?
Aye, I knew how Sir John would take it, Oh, how soundly will the knave constable be swinged for this! A jack-in-office rascal! We shall cure the blue-skinned runyon of his itch for whipping, I warrant you.
Scene 5. Re-enter Bardolph.
I have been looking all about, Sir John, but I cannot find one.
What is it Sir John wants, Mr. Bardolph?
A bawdy house, mistress.
Oh, Jesu Maria! Mrs. Dorothy.
How for What call'st thou a bawdy house? I sent thee to look out for a house of civil entertainment, where I might repose myself after my fatigue. Why, what, you rogue, would you make of me?
Marry, come up indeed. A bawdy house, truly. But as to a house of civil entertainment, Sir John, here is one hard by, where the knights and lords and all the great gentlemen of the court are entertained, both by night and by day, as civilly as at their own homes, and by gentlewomen as kind to them, I warrant you, as their own ladies themselves. A house of civil entertainment, a bawdy house! Why, I keep a house of civility myself, and I would have you to know, Mr. Bardolph.
Nay, nay, 'tis all one, what Sir John pleases.
Yes, by my truly, and so I think it ought, for if Sir John recommends you to the king—
Nay, were I Sir John, I'm sure I would never promote such a clown as Bardolph at court.
Ah, Doll, I'm afraid a promotion will be at the gallows. If Sir John has any interest with the hangman, he may get me preferred, perhaps, to the top of the ladder.
Why, how now, varlet?
Do you hear? Do you hear, sweet Sir John?
Aye, hostess. Bardolph is somewhat blunt, but as for the king—
Heavens bless him! A sweet young prince he was, and to be sure a gracious king he is. But what of him, Sir John?
Why, marry! Hang him, hostess! Treason must out as well as murder.
I am amazed, Sir John. Why, how is this? What a goodness! When? Where?
How is this, good Bardolph?
Why, I will tell ye how it is. That fame-ungrateful, sneaking, pitiful rascal we are speaking of is turned fanatic.
Fanatic? The king a fanatic?
Aye, fanatic, presbyter, bishop, if you will. Let his crown be his metre. I care not.
We don't take your meaning, Sir John.
You must know then, Doll, that after having, in pure love and affection, ridden post day and night 80 and odd miles to congratulate him on his ascension and condole with him on his father's death, instead of bidding me welcome to court, he preached me my own funeral sermon.
A funeral sermon?
Aye, hostess, for at the end of his discourse he ordered me to be buried alive at 10 miles' distance from the court. And to make this unnatural interment the surer, he has appointed my Lord Chief Justice his undertaker to see to the disposal of my corpse.
Buried alive, quoth he. What is in all this?
In plain terms, Dame Quickley, your gracious king hath banished me the presence, and till he grows a graceless prince again, I am forbidden to approach his person within 10 miles, on penalty of being hanged. Take ye me now?
Oh, Jesu, is it possible?
Aha! Is it so? Sits the wind in that quarter?
Well, as I am an honest woman, who would have thought it? It is a world to see.
And so Sir John is in disgrace. Still plain Jack Falstaff, and one of us. Poor blown Jack.
A sad disappointment indeed, Sir John. But in good faith, things fall out so odd, and the world goes so wrong, and the times are so hard, that why, no longer ago now than yesterday, was I obliged to pay the Lord knows what all away for one thing or other, and then my misfortune today, an angel to the constables, and besides, this comes the day after tomorrow, when I must make up a sum for the wine merchant. Wherefore, if your honour would but discharge your score in Eastcheap, because, as why, your honour knows—
How's this, Dame Quickley?
Because, I say, as why, your honour knows, 70-odd pound is a great deal of money for a poor widow woman to lose.
What talk you of losing, hostess?
True, Sir John, as you say, to be sure, I shall not be willing to lose it. For the law is open, and I know which way to get my money.
I am glad thou dost, hostess, as in that case I need not give myself the trouble to pay thee. The law is open, sayest thou? I, like a mousetrap, on the catch for nibbling clients. Enter thy action, and I will hold thee a gallon of sack. Thy departed husband will get out of purgatory ere thou out of the hands of thy lawyer.
Nay, Sir John, you need not twit me upon that. You need not fling my poor husband's soul in my teeth. He has not been gone so long, though for the matter of that, he might have been in heaven before now, hadn't I lent you the money Mr. Dumb should have had to say masses for him. Yes, Sir John, you have put into that great belly of yours what should have got my poor husband out of purgatory, and now you reproach me for it. Had he been still alive, you would not have used his disconsolate widow thus. You wouldn't, Sir John.
No, I'll be sworn I should not.
Well then, Sir John, out of charity, if it were nothing else, you ought to repay the money. Nay, if you don't, I'll pray night and day that you may be haunted by his ghost. Heaven rest his soul. I would he might never sleep quietly in his grave till he has made you pay me.
Go to, thou art a foolish woman. With good words thou mayst be paid.
No, Sir John, good words will not do. I must have money, Sir John. The priests won't get a soul out of purgatory without money. Besides, Sir John, good words are no payment. I can get nobody to take them. Good words will not do with me.
Well, well, I say you may be paid.
May? Sir John, I must. You have thus shuffled often on me a good while, but I must be paid, I must.
Hey, hey! Wilt thou raise the neighbourhood upon us? If thou art clamorous, I will have thee ducked in the Thames for a board. What, a plague? Art thou drunk? On the honour of my knighthood thou shalt be paid. Dost thou doubt mine honour?
Why, Sir John, to be sure, nobody would scruple to confide in your honour's honour. But then you know, Sir John, nobody better, what honour is. It will buy neither coals nor candles, nor will my landlord take it for rent, nor the merchant for sack or sherry. But would you give me only the half in money and leave the rest to honour, so that a body might keep open house, Sir John? That would be doing something.
Nay, if thou wilt be advised, I will do more for thee. Bardolph, forget not to go, when I send thee, to the cashier, with whom I left £1,000 this morning, and tell him to satisfy Mrs. Quickley forthwith.
£1,000?
The times are not so bad, hostess, thanks to our friend Shallow. But we may have a merry bout in Eastcheap. How says my doll?
Nay, you know, sweet Jack, I was always at your pleasure there.
That I will say for her, and a sweeter-natured, better-hearted creature never lay by the side of a true man. But goodness heart, why do we tarry here, when Sir John complained of his being fatigued, and was looking for a house of civil entertainment? I will show you the way incontinently, Sir John.
I thank thee, hostess. I am now somewhat recruited, and will endeavour to reach Eastcheap. And yet a cup of sack, by the way, I think would not be amiss.
Exeunt. Scene 6. Tavern in Eastcheap. Enter Pistol and Nym.
Hang Pistol up with line of hempen string, ere he in rabbit hutch be close immured. Seize the stiff cramp upon the fangs of justice.
Merry trap, we showed his myrmidons a light pair of heels, though. I wonder what is become of Sir John. They have certainly nailed his fat paunch. We must not venture to the Fleet to see. They'll nab us there, and for the matter of that, I suppose they'll be running the humour upon us here too. I will incontinently go and shut myself up. The storm may blow over when we are found uninventable.
Pistol disdains to sulk. Nolens, 'tis fate. But who would volens be incarcerate? Nym we must eat, and money have we none.
True, nollas follows, as you say, we must eat. I like to starve like a rat behind the arras, as little as another man. But what shall we do if Sir John be in limbo?
Or in or out, his follower I no more. Invention's mother is a necessity, and Pistol's demon is an imp of wit. Mercury suggests, and Pallas doth approve. The great Ponjardo del Stiletto's dead, professor of the art of self-defence. His broken foils, his daggers, belts, and blades, the stock in trade, I'll purchase upon tick. My face, disguised with an usurping beard, these jutting eyebrows turned from black to red, shall screen from knowledge. Thou shalt too assume a borrowed excrement, and partner be in stock and block. Since fighting's grown a trade, pence are picked up by masters of the blade.
The thought is lucky. Angels would ensue, but must we not transmutify our names?
My brains, my godfather, and at the font me Don Antico del Pistolo called.
Nym, pray, what did this same godfather call me?
Signor Nimvego.
Good, Signor Nimvego. And you Don Antico del Pistolo. I will hold them in oblivion. The trick of it pleases. But here comes Quickley and Dol.
Scene 7. Enter Quickley and Dol Tearsheet.
So, gentlemen, you are got home before Sir John, I see.
How fares the knight? Is he in durance vile?
No, by my truly, he returns forthwith, but in a woeful plight. Francis, what Francis? Bring the great chair for Sir John.
Francis, without.
Unknown, sir.
Sirrah Nym, hath Falstaff got money by him?
Yes, £1,000. He borrowed it of Justice Shallow. But we shall be little the better for that, for the knight will certainly be in limbo.
Maybe no, and maybe yes. It is no matter.
Dol and Quickley confer apart. Nym to Pistol, who stands musing.
Does the humour hold, or shall we wait the coming of the night?
And share his fate in base incarceration? Shall Don Antico del Pistolo prove a vile hunt counter? No, we'll thrive alone. Hostess, farewell. We may return, or not.
By Dol.
Exeunt Pistol and Nym. Scene 8.
'Tis certainly so. Sir John hath got the money.
I know not that, but if he has, he'll probably carry it to jail with him. Here comes Bardolph. Ask him.
Scene 9. Enter Bardolph.
Is Sir John at hand, Bardolph?
He will be here incontinently, hostess. I only slept before to let you know he was a-coming.
But is it veritably true, Bardolph, that Sir John has got £1,000 by him?
Aye, is that true, Bardolph?
True, upon honour. He had it of Justice Shallow of Gloucestershire, and it lies now in Master Jinglecash, the banker's hands. But Sir John will be here momentarily. Is everything ready?
In a minute we are all clear. Run, good doll, and receive the knight at the door. Francis, what Francis?
Francis, without.
Unknown, sir.
Light up candles in the passage. A bottle of sherris, Francis. Quick, you sleeping knave. Always upon a snail's gallop. Oh, that ever woman should be plagued with such creeping varlets.
Oh, here is Sir John himself.
Scene 10. Enter Sir John Falstaff.
Jaded to death, I warrant. An easy chair, good Bardolph. Please you to depose yourself, Sir John.
So, now I have taken up my sitting again in my old quarters. A glass of sherris, Francis.
And how do you find yourself, my sweet knight?
Tolerably thirsty.
Drinks.
I can drink, and that is all the bodily functions I am capable of. I am as stiff, every part about me, as a walking tailor, or Don Diego on a signpost.
Nay, Sir John, if that be the case, it is not over with you yet. Give me a buss.
Go, doll, you are riggish. Get you gone, you water wagtail, you. I am not merrily disposed.
But will you give me a new kirtle at Bartolmew Fair?
I will, doll. Nay, I cannot bear you on my knee.
Why, how come you so terribly mauled, my lemon?
Did not I tell ye?
No, indeed, Sir John. Your honour spoke of fatigue, but did not descend to particles.
Well then, I will tell ye now. Give me first a glass of sherris.
Drinks.
You must know that after the king, hang him for a sheep-stealing cur, gave me that rebuff I told you of, he stalked majestically away and left me to the mercy of the multitude. When, as I stood parleying with mine ancient, mine arms akembo thus, a knot of elbowing carles bore me down before them, with the impetuosity of a torrent. Lo, there was I, jammed fast in the midst of a vile group of mechanics, as if we had grown together in a body corporate, and in this jeopardy was I carried along, sometimes bolstered up on all sides, at the confluence of several turnings like a maypole, and at others wire drawn between two stone walls, as if they meant to make chitterlings of me. Now this fair round belly taking the form of a Christmas pie, and by pressed as flat as a pancake. It is a miracle I did not burst in the midst of them. Had it not been for the sufficiency of my buff doublet, I should have certainly bursted.
If you had, Sir John, you would have went off with a report like a bladder.
A bladder, ye jade, a demi-culverin at least. I should have died a hero. My exit would have made some noise in the world.
Heaven forbid, Sir John, you should ever die a virulent death, I say.
I hope indeed, sweet knight, you will never be pressed to death. That must be an odd end, and yet methinks I could bear much.
I'll be sworn thou couldst, doll, but thou art a woman, and made to bear.
Yes, in good sooth, poor woman is made to bear everything. She must suffer all a man's ill humours, let them lie never so heavy upon her, and by my truly, some men are nothing else. But to be sure, Sir John, you was most unhumanly used. Would nobody take pity upon you?
Pity! The most remorseless rascals! They made no more of me than if I had been a lump of dough they were kneading to make dumplings of. And to expostulate with the villains would have been preaching to the winds.
Why did not you exert your courage, Sir John? Draw upon them.
Draw, sayest thou? I could not come at my rapier to be master of a kingdom. As for good words, in return for the few I gave them, they let fly their jests so thick at me, and peppered me so plaguely with small wit that I was dumbfounded.
I thought you could never have been overmatched that way, Sir John.
Yet so it was, doll. They were holiday wits, and came loaden with choke pears. But indeed I was overpowered by numbers. 2 to 1, doll, you know. They pelted me from all quarters. Will you hear? I will give you a spice of their sarcasms, a sample of the gibing pellets they threw at me. As I was thus stemming the tide and crying out for the Lord's sake, a dried eel skin of a fishmonger asked me how I could complain of the crowd. Is a porpoise ill at ease, said he, amidst a glut of sprats and herrings? I had not time to answer the smelt before a barber surgeon, the very model of the skeleton in his glass case, offered to tap me for the dropsy, and to make us all elbow room by letting out a puncheon of canary at my girdle. Right, cries a third at the word canary. I'll be hanged if anything be in the doublet of that fat rogue but a hog's skin of Spanish wine, and incontinently they roared out on all sides, Tap him there! Tap him, master surgeon! Splud! I was forced to draw in my horns and be silent. Left the villains, being thirsty, should force the shaver to operation. The knave, indeed, was 5 weavers off, and so could not come well at me. I might otherwise had been drunk up alive.
And pray, how camest thou off at last, Sir John?
By mere providence, for after the barbarous rascals had squeezed the breath out of my body, they buffeted me because I could not roar out, God save the King. At length, I know not how, they threw me down in the cloisters, where, falling crosswife, and the way being narrow, I fairly blocked up the passage, upon which, for they could not straddle over me, they took another way, a plague go with them, for fear of losing the show. And thus I was left to take in wind, and gather myself up at leisure.
And did the mangy villain so play upon thy sack-butt? A parcel of sapless twigs, dry elms fit only for fuel. I would I had the burning of them.
Wouldst thou fire them, doll? Ha! Art thou touchwood still, doll?
Nay, Sir John, not so.
No, I'll be sworn, Sir John, to my carnal knowledge, if there be truth or faith in medicine. But, Sir John, what would your honour please to have for supper?
Another glass of sherris. Fill me out, Bardolph. I cannot eat. I have lost my appetite by the way. Put an egg into a quart of mulled sack, and give it me when I am abed. I will to sleep.
Would you have your bed prepared straight, Sir John?
Aye, on the instant, good doll. Hostess, go thou and see to the brewage of my sack.
Exeunt Doll and Mrs. Quickley. Scene 11. Tavern continued. Enter Pistol and Nym.
Sir Knight, I bring thee news. Loud fame reports my Lord Chief Justice hath recalled his warrants.
I would he were choked with his warrants ere he had issued them. But I thank thee for the tidings. The sergeants will not disturb my rest, at least tonight. But what comes here?
From ducking pool escaped in dripping plight, the crooked-fingered cut-purse Petto hight.
Scene 12. Enter Petto, leaning upon Gadshill.
What's the matter, Petto?
Matter? Sir Knight and master of mine? Matter of faith enough. The mob at Westminster had like to have murdered poor Peto here.
And how so?
Why, Sir John, as he was getting upon a cobbler's bulk to see what was become of your honour, a raw-boned swaggering sergeant, coming by, whipped hold of him by the leg, and threw him on the people's heads, where they shouldered him about from post to pillar, as they would have done a hedgehog, or a dead rabbit that had been thrown among them. I'faith, I thought they would have killed him.
How was that, Petto? I saw the bustle at a distance, and wondered what the porters and prentices had got to make sport withal. By the Lord, Petto, I have a fellow feeling for thy sufferings.
And I? But say, is merit thus repaid? Shall fortune play the jilt with men of mould? Go, Petto, lay thy head in Parco's lap.
Good Petto, let me advise thee to go to bed, and lay thy head on a pillow. Bardolph, see to him. Pistol and Nym, good night.
Good night, Sir John.
Francis, light me to bed. Let Doll bring up the sack. See to the urinals, and tuck up my back.
Exit.
Signor Nimwego, hearest thou, lad of craft?
Yea, marry, Don Antico del Pistolo? Runs the humour well?
Well, Nym, and thou and I, o'er cup and can, will go, and schemes of operation plan.
Exeunt. End of the first act. Act 2 of Falstaff's Wedding, 1766 version, by William Kenrick. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 2, Scene 1, a street. Enter Justice Shallow and Master Slender.
I wonder now, cuz, when you know what a desperate kind of a horrible man Sir John is, you should—
Tut, tut, I fear him not. There's ne'er a Sir John Falstaff in the nation shall overreach me.
But what's done can't be helped, cuz. He overreached you now, as I take it, when you lent him the money.
Well, cousin of mine, then it is my turn now to overreach him and get it again.
That indeed, cousin Shallow. To be sure would be quite right. Tit for tat, as we say in the country. But then, he is such a bloody-minded caitiff. You know he broke my head once, for nothing at all, and if he should get an inkling that you are going to law with him, oh Lord, I shall never sleep in quiet again.
Oh, you chit! If he breaks the peace, I shall know what to do with him, I warrant ye.
Aye, there indeed, cousin, Ecod. I did not think of that. If I am in fear of my life, I can answer taking him up with a warrant and binding him over to his good behavior. Suppose, therefore, cuz, we swear the peace against him first, and lay him fast by the heels before we enter the action. And yet, I don't know. If I might advise you, I would wash my hands of him.
Talk not to me. I tell thee I will spend half my estate, ere the rascally knight shall carry it off so. I had rather the Inns of Court should share the money among them, than that the gauble-eyed knave should feast his enormous guts at any free cost of mine. I will to my council immediately, and if the law will not avail me, my sword shall do me justice.
You know best, cousin Shallow, to be sure, but—
But me no buts, I say. But come along, your cousin Shallow puts up no such wrong.
Exeunt. Scene 2, a street. Enter an officer of the king's household, and a friar.
There, good friar, thou hast it. It would little conduce to raise the king's wisdom in the general estimation of the world, to have it thought in the power of such unworthy men as Falstaff and his fellows, to lead him implicitly into all those extravagances under which the character of his youth suffered, and yet so it would go near to be suspected, if his highness should now act towards them with an ill-timed severity. My Lord Chief Justice hath therefore retracted his hasty orders for their imprisonment.
Son, well observed, and I commend his lordship's prudence in treating their vices as infirmities, and will readily undertake to commune with them on the grievous enormity of their dissolute lives.
His lordship would have you apply first to Sir John Falstaff, the ringleader of this vicious troop. If you can dispose him to good, the rest may follow.
I will attend these reprobates and use the means.
His lordship requires that you would bring Falstaff over to retire to a monastery, if possible, that being concealed from the eyes of the world, he may not daily remind it of what is past. Farewell, good father. I will see thee again at the priory.
Exit officer. Scene 3. Street continued. Friar. Solus.
I will go, but I fear my mission will prove as fruitless as that of many other apostles sent among infidels. As there is no danger of martyrdom, however, I am content. Persuade Sir John Falstaff to turn monk. Could I work miracles, indeed, and like St. Thomas turn an Ethiop white, something might be set for it. But as it is, I despair converting an old debauchee from two such prevailing heresies as the whore and the bottle.
Exit. Scene 4. Tavern in Eastcheap. Enter Falstaff and Bardolph.
2 sound naps of 8 hours apiece have something recruited me. Bardolph, my morning's wet. Is it prepared?
This here, Sir John.
Gives Falstaff a tankard.
Here's to our better fortune.
Drinks.
Ah, Sir John, I'm afeard our fortune hath been at its highest flood. We have seen our best days.
So the world goes, Bardolph, up and down. But is it not hard now? I that have... But that's nothing. I hate boasting. It is, however, well known what pains I have taken to make a man of that Hal. Nay, you yourself are privy to many the good offices I have done him. Before the younker knew me, he could not drink sack, made conscience of going to church on holidays, and blushed like a scarlet cloak at entering a bawdy house. I instructed him in all the manly exercises. I was content to win his money, to teach him gaming, to get drunk myself to try and make him so. Nay, setting rotten limbs and dignity aside, have I not even pimped for the bashful rogue? Such a Prince of Wales! By my troth, I was ashamed of him. Had it not been for me, the milksop might have been crowned before he had lost his maidenhead.
And that would have been a pity, Sir John, to be sure.
It was I first taught him to waylay the true man. For I knew him when he does not cry, stand to a turkey-cock. Nay, a gander of the ordinary size of a green goose, had it met him on a common, would have made him run for it. I went farther yet, and not only emboldened his actions, but taught him the manly arts of conversation. In the style military, for instance, or swearing.
Sir John, I believe that you forget yourself. The prince wanted no assistance of you in that. For when he was a little crack, he would swear ye as well as a man 6 foot high.
Right, Bardolph, you are right. I remember me swearing indeed he knew, for though but a king's son he would, as thou sayest, rap out an oath like an emperor. But then, for the quintessence of all elocution, the use of the hyperbole, vulgarly called lying, there I am a master. Yet what a deal of pains it hath cost me to teach Hal to lie, and all thrown away upon him. He would never do it roundly. He had no genius that way.
You know, Sir John, the prince never could away with lying. He used to say 'twas beneath a gentleman and a soldier.
Well, well, he will never shine in the recital of his own exploits as Xenophon, Caesar, and I have done.
Why, Sir John, to be sure you have done something.
Something! The services I have done him and his father are out of number. Methinks my behaviour in the ever-memorable action at Shrewsbury should make him blush at his ingratitude. Who killed Hotspur? Did I not give him his death's wound in the thigh? Or was it not I who took prisoner that fiery dragon Colville, and that even alive? And am I thus requited? Is this the guerdon of my great achievements? Hang valour! I'll hack my sword no more. Thus it has ever been the fate of merit to be rewarded. Alcibiades and Belisarius for that.
Aye, Sir John, they were tall fellows. They were sadly used indeed. I have heard of them. But that was in King John's time, I think.
They were the Falstaffs of antiquity, Bardolph.
Like enough, Sir John. They were before my time, to be sure. Though Pistol told me the other day the General Belisarius was his godfather.
Pistol is an ignorant braggart, an ass. I have injured my dignity by associating with rascals, not worthy to wait at my heels. What tell'st thou me of Pistol?
Nay, Sir John, I meant no harm. I do think you deserve to be made a lord of indeed.
I expect nothing less, I can assure ye. And then, for my well-known economy, to have had the sole management of the exchequer at least.
And instead of that, to be banished?
I know not if I heard the word banish. I was forbidden indeed to come near the king's person by 10 miles, but I was not at that distance when those injunctions were laid on me. Queer now it might pose a casuist, let me tell ye, whether I am thereby enjoined to march right out 10 miles an end, whether the negative, not come, amounts to the positive, go, I will not understand it so, and if that be my Lord Chief Justice's construction, by the Lord, I will put him to the trouble of carrying me. I will be laid up with the gout ere I budge a foot.
Indeed, Sir John, the king did say banish.
Admit it, unless he means to reside for ever in a place, and be in his own proper person as immovable as a church. I hold my life on a damned precarious tenure. He must give me timely notice of his motions, that I may regulate mine accordingly. Otherwise, if he be travelling my way, we may happen to encounter, and I get myself hanged through inadvertency. I do not think it safe, therefore, to stir out of town without more explicit orders. Give me another draught.
The tankard is out, Sir John. Shall I replenish?
No, I'll towards Sir Paul's. A gentle perambulation this morning may refresh me.
Exeunt. Scene 5. A street. Enter Justice Shallow, Master Slender, and a lawyer.
Well, Master Pleadwell, are you still of that opinion? If so, my money's gone.
Indeed, I am still of that opinion, Justice Shallow.
What? How? That my money's gone?
Nay, I know not that. I say, I am of opinion you should have taken a bond, or obligation, at the time of lending it, friend Shallow. £1,000 on the bare word of a courtier, and that courtier Sir John Falstaff. Ne'er an alderman in the city of London would have lent 1,000 pence on such security.
Oh, that ever a country squire should have less wit than a city alderman.
£1,000, Mr. Shallow, is...
£1,000! I know it is, Master Pleadwell, I know it well. But pray now, is there no method in the law to recover it? He cannot have spent it yet. Cannot we compel him to restitution? Arrest him, Mr. Pleadwell.
But should he deny the debt, how will you prove it? And who knows, on such an emergency, what Sir John Falstaff will not do?
Nay, he will lie. That's the truth on't.
Aye, coz, and that most consumedly too.
I can prove his receipt of the money.
But the conditions, Justice Shallow. What have you to show that he is engaged to return it? And when?
Nothing. I was weak enough to lend it him on his bare word.
Nay, cousin Shallow, not so neither. I'll be sworn he borrowed it upon his oath. He swore upon the honour of a true knight to give him £1,000 again, and besides that, the comings in of a better thing in his Majesty's court at London.
Ah, Master Slender, these knights have just honour enough to swear by, but for anything further, I am apprehensive we shall find him one of those honourable knights whose word is as good as their oath. But see, if I mistake not, yonder he comes. This encounter may perhaps save us the trouble of attending him at home. Let us speak him fair, and persuade him, if possible, to sign an obligation for the money. If we can do that, we may trounce him. Let me alone with him."
"Oh, would you could, Mr. Pleadwell. What would I give, methinks, to see him well trounced, if it was only for giving me once a bloody coxcomb."
Scene 6. Street continued. Enter Falstaff.
"How? Master Shallow consulting with his lawyer. Are ye thereabouts, friend Shallow? Would you hamper me with an action?"
Aside.
"I will pass them by."
Going.
Sir John, a word with you, if you please."
"Oh, my good friends, Robert Shallow, Esquire, and Master Slender, how fare ye, gentlemen, both?"
"Sir John, Mr. Shallow here has—"
"Ha! What, mine old acquaintance, Master Wheedlepoint? How is it with your health, Master Wheedlepoint?"
"Pleadwell is my name, Sir John."
"Right! I cry you mercy, round about Pleadwell, I think. My memory is not so retentive as—"
"No offence, Sir John. That is not the case."
"Marry, but it is, Mr. Pleadwell. A treacherous memory is my great defect, and a misnomer in law, thou knowest."
"Would be a matter of consequence, Sir John, but that is not our business at present. Mr. Shallow here hath put a case—"
"Ay, Master Shallow should know something of the law too. Was not he at Clement's Inn when thou wert first entered there? That must be many years ago, Mr. Pleadwell. Let me see. How many years ago must that be, Master Shallow? Why, you carry your age well, Mr. Pleadwell."
Pretty well, Sir John, but that—"
"Nay, marry, I say very well, Master Shallow. And pray, what is become of young Puzzlecouse and Dick Silvertongue, your fellow students there? They were called to the bar, I suppose. That Dick was a prater-pace rogue, and a devil among the Bona Robus. He and Master Shallow here were two with the wenches. Ha, ha, Master Shallow!"
"No matter, Sir John. At present we would confer on other business."
"Nay, gentlemen, if ye are on business, I crave your pardon, and leave ye. I am not used to be impertinent."
"You are not going, Sir John. It is with you our business lies."
"Business with me?"
"Yes, about the £1,000, Sir John."
"What mean you, Master Shallow?"
"That you borrowed of me, Sir John."
"Yes, Sir John, the £1,000 you've borrowed of my cousin Shallow, Sir John."
"Take me with ye, gentlemen, both. Let me understand ye. You presented me indeed with £1,000 to promote your interest at court, Master Shallow, and may depend on it if I can serve you."
"Fiddle, faddle, Sir John. I expect my money again. Your interest at court is not worth a farthing."
"I cannot help that. The more is my misfortune, Mr. Shallow. You see my heart is good."
"If so, Sir John, you will not refuse to give Mr. Shallow something to show for his money under your hand?"
"How dost thou know that, Mr. Pleadwell? I must consult my counsel in this case."
"There is no need, Sir John. I will draw up a little instrument, to which thou wilt set thy hand immediately."
"Not while I have a head, Master Pleadwell. I like not running hand over head in these matters. By latter Lammas, or St. Falstaff's day, I may perhaps bethink me."
"I know of no saint of thy family in the calendar, Sir John."
"Well, well, there may be saints of a worse. Our merit hath not stood in the way of promotion, that's all, and yet there are as many whoremasters there as lawyers, I believe. But I cannot tarry now to hold farther question with thee, fatigued as I am, and earnest to reach my lodgings yonder."
"If thou wilt there sign the instrument, Sir John, we will attend you thither."
"Wilt thou? It is a notorious bawdy house."
"No matter, Sir John."
"No matter, sayest thou? Is it then no matter for one of the grave sages of the law to be seen in a public bawdy house? Lord, Lord, what will this world come to? My conscience, however, is more tender. I should be sorry to give such occasion of scandal.
Please you, Sir John, to be serious. Let us rightly understand each other.
With all my heart, good Master Pleadwell. Then, to be plain with you, I find you do not know me. You talk to me of restitution and conditions. Didst thou ever know Sir John Falstaff make restitution on any conditions? And dost thou think me so unpractised a courtier as to return the perquisities of my calling, because I am turned out, or to restore the purchase of my goodwill, because I am not likely to get in? What take ye me for a yunker? A geck? Go to! You cannot play upon me. Master Shallow, rest you content. Your money is in good hands, and, if I do not spend it like a gentleman, never trust me with £1,000 again.
Oh, that I ever did trust such a caitiff!
But pray, were these the conditions, Mr. Shallow? Was you to be repaid by a place at court?
To be sure. Why, what do you think? Mr. Pleadwell, Cousin Shallow was fool enough to lend £1,000 for nothing? Why, I, myself, was to be made a great man too, and that into the bargain.
Cousin Slender, speak in your turn, I pray you.
Were these terms specified?
Not indeed on parchment. Signatum und sigillatum, Mr. Pleadwell. A courtier's promise is not indeed very good in law. But I can tell ye the posts I should have procured for these noble squires, and by a lady thou wilt say they would have been well occupied. Having a little pique or so at my Lord Chief Justice, and Mr. Shallow here thinking himself qualified, I promised him my interest for his worship's removal from the quorum to his lordship's place on the bench. Was it not so, Mr. Shallow?
Don't belie me, Sir John. Don't cheat me of my money and laugh at it too. Robert Shallow, Esquire, will not put up with that.
Then for Mr. Slender here I proposed, for his address and elocution, to have got him appointed orator to the House of Parliament, or otherwise, in consideration of his figure and magnanimity, to have him made a staff officer or captain of horse at the least.
Nay, Sir John, you did not tell me what, but I expected some notable place, I'll assure you, for I look upon myself, plain squire as I stand here, to be somebody.
Cause you were an ass, cause.
Why, I didn't lend him the money,
Justice Shallow, this is a very simple affair. I am sorry it is not in my power to serve you in it. Sir John, if you had either honor or honesty, you would restore the money, but as you make pretensions to neither, I leave you.
Exit lawyer. Scene 7. Street continued. Falstaff, Shallow, and Slender.
Well, my masters, you hear the counsel learned in the law. Will you to dinner with me? You shall see I am no niggard. If you will lodge with me in Eastcheap, you shall see the £1,000 fairly spent in sack. You shall share with me to the utmost farthing. But for dry restitution, I have not been accustomed to it of many years. You would not have me a changeling at this time of day, I hope, Master Shallow.
Changeling? No, Sir John, thou art no changeling. But depend on it, I will not put up this wrong. Robert Shallow, Esquire, will never eat nor drink with thee. If the law will not help me, I will take other methods. I will have my money. Depend on't, I will have my money.
Exit Shallow.
Aye, we shall find means to get the money. Never fear.
Exit Slender. Scene 8. Street continued. Falstaff, Solus.
Nay, I fear it not. At least before I shall have found means to spend it. And then, get it who may, it concerns not me. We shall see, however, whose business will be done first. Mine will go merrily forward. Ah, Shallow, Master Shallow! But who could have thought the snipe would have went to council to get himself laughed at? Then to see how demurely Sir Slyboots angled for me, as if I had been a gudgeon. How cunningly the rascal Barrador would have hooked me on his instrument. But I was even with the methodical knave. My friend Shallow will never bring it to bear an action at law, and if he should, I am on the right side of the hedge. Indeed, were I to go to law for a mint of money, I would choose to have it all in my possession. There is nothing like it. Possession is the very life's blood of a bad cause, on the strength of which in mine I will come home to dinner.
Scene 9. A fencing school. Enter Pistol and Nym, disguised.
Is this not better than the service mean of Cappadocian or Assyrian knight? That last young quarreller, how much gave he?
2 marks for entrance and an angel fee.
'Tis well, keep count, and lend attention mute. Dame Ursula, the knight's a neglected flame, grown rich, is fond of finery and name. To her hath Don Pistolo made his suit by love epistle. Nym, what say'st thou to it?
What rival, Sir John? 'Tis true he does not go there now, or he'd make a bloody business of it. You must know I've courted her niece and chambermaid Bridget ever since the last windfall.
And hast thou sped?
Very scurvily, ancient. The jade runs her humours upon me.
Nym, I a letter for thee will indite, in the true style of a Castilian knight. Woman is taken by mere words and whim. Nimwego shall command what's held from Nym. But see, new swaggerers coming. Keep your state.
Scene 10. Enter Justice Shallow and Master Slender.
Aye, this is my old school. Here have I had my sa and my ha. What so, your servant, gentles, pray, is Signor Stiletto to be spoken with?
The valiant wight translated is to heaven.
Faith and troth, I'm sorry for that, heartily sorry indeed.
Ha? Sorry? Sayest thou, Paphlagonian vile? Wouldst thou in Tartarus that he should howl? Ha! Ha!
Drawls and makes a lunge at Shallow, who retires.
Not I, not I. Pray moderate your passion. Gad's mercy on me, what a furious lunge! Sir, understand me. Signor Stiletto is my honoured master. I had a friendship for him.
I then embrace thee with a soldier's arm. Stiletto was the glory of the sword, the Ajax, Hector, Agamemnon, he.
And if I may ask without offence, pray, sir, what is the name and quality of your worship?
I, his successor, am, and men call me Antico del Pistolo.
A name of sound, and smacking loud of valour. It sorts well with your figure and profession.
Ecod, I think so. His name and looks, I'm sure, make me tremble. I would I were safely out of the house, la.
Needst thou my service?
To say the truth, sir, though I'm not of a quarrelsome disposition, I have an affair of the sword upon my hands, and having long laid by my rapier, I came to take a lesson or two of Signor Stiletto, the better to withstand the force of my adversary. Now, since my old master is dead, I would be obliged to the skill of his successor.
What is thy name and quality?
My name is Shallow, sir.
Of Gloucestershire-esque, justice of the peace and of the quorum.
Pistol aside.
A name of note, and smacking much of folly. It suiteth well thy figure and thy purpose. Nimwego, hand the foils. There, grasp it well. Bear thy point against thy rival's sword, and had he 20 lives, he falls. Sa! Sa!
They skirmish, and Shallow is disarmed.
Enough, enough, for once, brave sir, enough. I see indeed your worship is a master. Another time I'll try my skill again.
Enough's a feast. Farewell till next we meet.
Exit Pistol. Scene 11.
Will not my young squire here enter into the humour of it? Come, sir, lay hold.
Cod, so, not I. I quarrel with nobody but my man, and I can break his head at any time for 6pence. So, I've no occasion, sir, I thank you. Come, coz, let's go.
Sir, there's my thanks.
Gives money to Nym.
You'll see me soon again.
Yes, yes, my cousin will come again. But I've no occasion, I thank you.
Exeunt Shallow and Slender. Scene 12. Nym, soulless.
These two squires are precious subjects to play humours on. I have it too. They've land and beeves, and marry trap. I'll lay a trap for marrying them. Our hostess Quickley and Dol Tearsheet, when bedizened, may pass on these Gloucestershire oaths for London dames of rank. Nay, they resemble the wealthy widow of Watling Street and buxom Beatrice of Bucklersbury, her forward niece. This were a trick of Price. I'll fashion it by working up these noodles into a conceit of their being beloved by the widow and Madam Beatrice. I will about it straight.
Exit. End of the second act. Act 3 of Falstaff's Wedding, 1766 version, by William Kenrick. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit Librivox.org. Act 3, Scene 1, Tavern in Eastcheap. Enter Falstaff and Bardolph.
Bardolph! How is it with Peto today?
Why, he's in a bad way, Sir John.
That all? When was he otherwise? Who ever knew Peto or thee in a good way?
And yet, Sir John, we are your followers, you know.
Well said, Bardolph. I see thy wit is improved. I lead you the way, it is true, but you follow me like spaniels with damnable circumvolutions. But whom have we here?
It is the doctor, Sir John, that has been up to see Peto.
Oh, Dr. Caius Mithridate, the apothecary, a precious limb of Galen. At Windsor he was a physician, and starved by prescribing potions. But now he is turned apothecary, and thrives by administering them.
Scene 2. Enter Dr. Caius.
So, Master Doctor, thou art a man of merit, I see. Thou art fought after. Pray, how many patients mayest thou have dispatched today?
Pas beaucoup, Sir John. Not great many. I pay visit betimes, and bon matin, a Monsieur de Peto. But I must go now. À l'instant, à la cour.
Nay, rest you a moment, Dr. Caius. I would commune with you a little on the score of old acquaintance. Pray, Master Doctor, how came you to leave Windsor? You were, I thought, in some repute there.
How came I to leave Windsor? By God, that Windsor did leave me.
Repute? Morbleu! I was in the best reputation du monde. In 3 years, there was no less than 300 patients of quality under my hands. They did never complain of maltreatment, and yet I did stay there till I had no patients left.
Dead men tell no tales, doctor, 'tis certain.
Eh bien. My patients did die, sure enough, but there was their sons, their daughters, their cousin Germans, they was alive, and commend my treatment of the defunct and non-obstant, they would never call me in themselves.
That's much. But did all your patients die? Say you, not one survived to trumpet the fame of their doctor?
Yes, by God, there was one bourgeois fort riche et fort mal. He bring me more disgrace than all those that was dead. I did exert all my skill for 2-3 years, and he would not be cured.
Then why did you not let him go after the rest?
By God, he would not go. Il a été fort entêté, ce homme-là. I have gave him opiates, the narcotics, stronger by God than death itself, but he would not be composed. He would live to disgrace me. So he turned me off, and grew well himself. Bientôt, presently, without any medicine in the world.
A base plebeian tyke!
By God, he was one base fellow, let me tell you that. The quality no put such a front upon practitioner, renown, un homme comme moi.
Right, Master Caius. It is a damned thing when people will not die secundum artem, but live in spite of the doctor. But, to the present concern, how is it with Pito?
Oh, j'espère qu'il sera bientôt guéri. He is in very fair way, Sir John.
Bardolph tells me here he is in a bad one. Fair and good, I have heard often, but fair and bad, seldom. But what are his complaints, Master Doctor? I know something of physic.
Why, Sir John, the cutis of the occiput est lacere. There be gross tumours all over the corpse, the body. The patient has a delire, a vertigo, and besides the symptoms febriles, the pulse indicate phlebotomy.
Phlebotomy? What, bleeding?
A little, Sir John. We will take away but 16 ounces for un petit revulsion.
16 ounces! Hast thou a design upon his life? What, a plague would thou kill him? He doth not weigh 4 pounds, avoirdupois, flesh, bones, and all, and thou wouldst take him away by quarters in a slop basin.
What is that, Sir John? Will you instruct me in the pathology, the therapeutics, the indications, and contraindications? Monsieur Peto must be bled.
Bleed sick apes and hyped monkeys. If Peto be not hanged, he shall die a natural death. Thinkest thou I'll have his veins drained to fill a row of porringers in a barber's shop window? Use bits of red cloth and be damned. Ye shall have the blood of no follower of mine. 16 ounces. I tell thee, not Galen, Hippocrates, nor Aesculapius himself, were they alive, should thus operate upon him. Phlebotomy! I will phlebotomize ye all with my rapier, by the Lord, if you offer to draw a lancet on him.
Bien done, Sir John. Be not in one passion. We will take little less. But by God, the patient will die if he do no be bled. And let me tell you, Sir John, you would do well to lose little blood. In verite, vous êtes trop philosophique.
Me? I thank thee. But in the blood is the life of the creature, and I will not consent to part with mine.
Il serait mieux, or fee. It would be better, Sir John. You mix little more water in your wine.
More water? I mix none.
Vos and vos. By God, Sir John. If you no change your regime, you shall die. Your fat will eat you up.
I shall eat up a many fat capon first, Master Doctor. But wouldst thou persuade me, with thy contraindications, that water is better than wine?
Pour quelques tempéraments et dans certains cas for some constitutions and in some
cases,
Sir John.
For thine, perhaps, but mine thanks thee for the water. Wine is good enough for me.
Ah, que vous êtes malefice. Eh bien, Sir John, you will not take my advice. I leave you. Bonjour. Good day to you, Sir John.
Aside.
Eh, mon Dieu. Si grass, si gross, by God. He cannot live long. He will overlay his own belly and burst if he be not bled.
Exit Dr. Caius. Scene 3.
Good day to you, Master Doctor Apothecary. And yet I know not whether I ought to be with that neither, for a good day to him must be a bad one to somebody. A man of any conscience or humanity knows not how to salute fellows of such an occupation, for who would with the rest of mankind, lame and blind, sick and sorry, to find them employment forsooth? Poor Peto! I would not lose him, methinks, for though he be a worthless knave, he is an old acquaintance, and I never could find in my heart to part with my old acquaintance, merely because they were good for nothing. King Hal is another sort of a man to what I am, to abandon his old friends and his prosperity thus. Poor Peto!
Ecod, Sir John, it happened lucky for me. I can tell you that I came off so well as I did yesterday.
Ay, by lady, thou play'st fair to get off in a whole skin, and leave thy friend and master in extremity.
Nay, banana, Sir John, I did my utmost to keep up with you, but 'twas impossible, and indeed it was very fortunable that I was not myself trod to death by the populace.
Thou! Tell me the moon is a Suffolk cheese or a Windsor pear. Thou! Have I not seen thee clear ring without a staff at a bear baiting? Thou mightest make thy way through a legion, nay, the millions of a crusade. Why, who would come within a fathom of that firebrand, thy nose? It is a flaming two-edged sword. Wouldst thou make me believe the villains would come near thee, to burn their holiday clothes? Thou wouldst have set them a-blazing like stubble, and have consumed the whole procession of heralds, like men of straw. A plague upon them! It was by their avoiding thee, I suppose, that I had like to have died a martyr to corpulency.
Sir John, you are always plaguing me about my face. What would you have me do with it?
Do with it? If there were water enough in the Thames, I would have thee quench it. But water, I fear, can do nothing for thee, since I remember when we rode last from Canterbury, when the rain beating full in our faces, thou camest to the borough with thy nose and cheeks glowing red hot, although they had been hissing all the way like a tailor's goose. God forgive me, but when thou runst behind the hedge, in fear of the officer, I could not help comparing him and thee to Moses and the burning bush. But thou wilt in time to be consumed, thy fire must out.
I would it were out, so be I might hear no more on't. In troth, Sir John, if I must always be your butt, I shall seek another service, I assure you.
Nay, nay, good Bardolph, that must not be. I speak not in disparagement, heaven knows, for I mean to cherish thee against the lack of fuel, or the visitation of a Dutch winter.
Blood, Sir John, I will bear it no longer.
Going.
Hold, Bardolph! Where art thou going? Thou glowworm in magnature with thy tail upwards, thou pumpion-headed rascal! Stay, or—
Give me good words then, Sir John. Why pumpkin-head, pray now?
Hast thou never seen a scooped pumpkin set over a candle's end on a gate-post to frighten alewives from gossiping by owl-light? That is a type of thee, that is thy emblem, thy head being hollow, full of light, and easily broken, as thou shalt experience, if thou offerst to fly thy colours till disbanded by authority. I shall need thee, I tell thee, to keep me warm under the coldness of the king's displeasure.
Indeed, Sir John, burnt sack and ginger will do you more good. For whatsoever light I may give, I am sure, set aside choler, I am as cold as e'er a white-livered yonker in town.
Cold, sayest thou? Thy face would condemn thee for an incendiary before any bench of judicature in the kingdom. Thou wouldest carry apparent combustibles into court with thee. Tell me not of cold. Thou wouldest certainly have been hanged long ago. Had not the sheriff been afraid, thou wouldest have fired the hangman or the gibbet.
Why, Sir John, I have been your attendant off and on these 20 years come Candlemas, and I don't find I have had any such effect on you.
The cause, you rogue, the cause! Am I not obliged to keep a pipe of canary constantly discharging on me? Are not the tappeters perpetually employed? The suck-buckets for ever a-going to keep me from blazing? And yet at times my skin is shriveled up like an April pippin. Mark me, but walking 100 paces, with thee glowing at my heels, if I do not broil and drip like a roasting ox.
Ah, you are pleased to be hard upon me, Sir John, but I am sure my face never hurt a hair of your head.
No, look at 'em! Hath it not turned them all grey? 20 years ago, before they were calcined by thy fire, my locks were of a nut brown.
Why, you grow old, Sir John.
Old? What call ye old? I am a little more than 60, and Methusalem lived to near 1,000. Why may not I be a patriarch, and beget sons and daughters these 100 years myself?
Then you must get a wife, Sir John, for your common fields, you know, never bear clover.
Marry? What, to be made a cuckold of, I warrant ye?
Why, Sir John, if you should marry, you would not like to be singular, I suppose.
Nay, for the matter of that, all's one. But who will have me? Your dames of breeding are too fine and too finicking for me to bear with them.
Aye, or for them to bear you either, Sir John.
Nay, whoever has me, she must be no tenderling. She must be none of your gingerbread lasses that will crumble to pieces in the toesling. She must be none of your wishy-washy Pernada gentry neither, your curd-and-whey gentlefolks that cannot support the embraces of a soldier. I must have a kixy-wixy of a more substantial stuff.
Why, Sir John, what say you marry Madam Ursula, your old sweetheart? You have courted her to my knowledge these 20 years last past. I suppose you know her great-aunt is dead, and has left her 400 marks a year.
No, by the Lord, I heard nothing on't. She sent me a letter, indeed, into Gloucestershire, but I was over a bottle, and I would not interrupt the glass to read it. I knew it was hers by the superscription, which, by the way, however, was as unintelligible as the handwriting on the wall. It had never reached me had not the bearer been a decipherer. Go, Bardolph, and fetch it. You will find it among the other trumpery in my cloak-bag.
Exit Bardolph. Scene 4. Tavern continued. Falstaff, solus.
400 marks a year, quoth he. It were not an unreasonable competence were not sherries comparatively so dear. But if the female encumbrance on it should turn out a shrew, the Lord have mercy on me, in thus paying off the sins of my youth. Let me bethink me. 400 marks a year. I have, it is true, small hopes from Hal, and shall grow old some time or other. These aches in my limbs forebode it. I cannot hold out forever, that's certain. Were it not good, therefore, to make a virtue of necessity, and take up while I am in case to reap the credit of reformation? Could I reconcile it to my interest? I believe my inclination would follow.
Scene 5. Tavern continued. Re-enter Bardolph.
There, Sir John, is the letter.
Come on, let us see if we are master of so much Arabic as to find out our meaning.
Reads.
Why, Dame Ursula, thou hast a memory. I could have credited thee for subtlety on account of that old friend to woman, the serpent. But how thou couldst remember for 15 years together what money I owed thee, that indeed I cannot account for. I have myself forgot it long since. She tells me here I have borrowed £500 of her at times, as tokens of my love. By the Lord, and as I am a soldier, I will love her still, and she shall command semblable proofs of it.
Reads on.
Hum. Repayment of the money or the performance of my engagements. Who? I am then to be married on compulsion. That will go most damnably against the grain. But hold, if I marry, her money will be mine. If not, she may cease to lend when she pleases, and the fortune of that man is always at the turning of the tide, who depends on the caprice of a woman.
Why, marry her then, Sir John. I dare say she has heard nothing of your disgrace at court, so that she won't stand upon terms.
Marry, Bardolph, and I am half resolved to do so. Yea, by the Lord, I will too. She has besides £2,000 in money. I will courageously make the attack and mount the breach of matrimony. If I fall into the hands of the Philistines, why, good night. It is but going into a purgatory a few years before my time, Bardolph. Get me pen and ink in the Cupid. Thou shalt be one of love's messengers. I will write to her in trope and figure, metaphor and hyperbole carry all before them with the woman. Let her resist lies and nonsense, if she can.
Exeunt. Scene 6. Enter Nym, Doll, and Quickley.
But do you think, Nym, they won't discover us?
Not if you mind the trick of it, and don't betray yourselves. The old squire is as rampant as a goat, and as conceited as an ape. And as for the young one, he has but 4 senses out of the 5. Let not your breath smell of aquavitae, nor your lips smack of bawdry. Array yourselves antique, look modest, and speak supernaculum. Do this, and they'll never suspect you.
Oh, let me alone for speaking supernaculum. I have a set of the courtliest phrases in my housewifery book. I'll con them by heart.
Well, go prosper. Pistol will be here presently.
Fear not, we'll lose no time. Come, Doll, we shall be made women if this plot succeeds.
Exeunt omnes. Scene 7. Dame Ursula and Bridget attending.
And do you think, Bridget, Sir John will be at last as good as his word then? Ah, how fits my ruff today? I would thou hast bought me one of those new-fashioned farthingales.
Oh, madame, you are mighty fine, as it is, truly. And, I'm sure, Sir John can do nothing less than admire you.
Thinkest thou so, Bridget? Why, to be certain, a peach-coloured satin does become my complexion hugely. But I think the roses are faded in my cheeks. Well, no matter. He might have gathered them 20 years ago, had he not been a rover. I hope, however, he has sold his wild oats now, and that I shall have the satisfaction of being called my Lady Falstaff.
To be sure, madame, and though Sir John is but a knight at present, he will be very assuredly, now the young king is crowned, be made a great lord, and may be a duke. Indeed, madame, I cannot think of less.
And then I shall be a duchess, Bridget. Dame Ursula, a duchess.
Aye, madame, that will be a day to see, if I am so happy as to be in your grace's favour.
For certain, Bridget, thou shalt. Well, this love is a strange thing. There is Sir John has deceived me 1,000 times, and yet I know not how. He always persuaded me he was sincere.
A sure sign you loved him, madame.
And yet, to be sure, before I received his letter, I thought I should never hear from him again, and had almost come to a resolution to cast him entirely off.
In good sooth, madame, that is very prudent, to cast off a lover when we find he will leave us.
I think so, and not a little imprudent to do it before, for one of my years at least.
Why, madame, you are not so old.
Indeed, but I am. Old enough to know I ought not to part with one lover till I am sure of another.
To be sure, madame, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, but the sport of hampering the rogues, who are at liberty, is so vastly pretty.
Ay, if we were sure of catching them at last. But Bridget, Bridget, how often do they escape through our fingers and give us the slip? Besides, it is for younger lasses than I to go bird-catching. I cannot throw salt on the tail of a sparrow now.
Nay, say not so, madame. You forget your new lover, Don Anchico del Pistolo.
Hang him, fustian-pated rogue! Whoever he be to pester me with his epistles! To write letters for his comrade to thee, too! Well, as I live, I will expose this pair of bombards to Sir John. I will show him their letters.
Madame, the knight is coming.
Bless us, Bridget, and so he is. Introduce him and leave us.
Scene 8. Enter Falstaff.
Well, my fair princess, see thy wandering knight.
Welcome to London, Sir John. Thou art indeed a wanderer.
A true knight-errant for thy sake.
For my sake, Sir John?
Ay, for thine, my Helen. Have I not encountered tremendous giants and fiery dragons in the rebels of Northumberland and Wales? And then for magicians and enchanted castles, Owen Glandover and his Welsh devils were put to the root, and many a stronghold between here and Westchester have I visited, releasing fair damsels and distressed squires from captivity. I brought 2 of the latter up to town. I would they were safely immered in the country again.
And all these exploits for me, Sir John?
As I am a true knight, to lay my laurels at thy feet.
Do you then still love me in sincerity, Sir John?
Do I love thee? Am I a soldier? Have I courage? Love thee, I will be thy Troilus, and thou shalt be my Cressida.
You have long told me so, indeed.
And can I lie? Thou shalt be sole possessor of my person and wealth. Thou shalt share in the honours done me at court of the new king. Thou shalt... But what shalt thou not do? We will be married incontinently.
Oh, Sir John, you know your own power and our sex's weakness. But indeed, for decency, I cannot so speedily consent. Besides, Sir John, I am not yet put in possession of my estate and moneys.
Nay, then, as thou sayest, love, for decency's sake, we must bear with a short delay. But I will no longer be kept out of possession than thou art.
You shall not, Sir John. And in the meantime, our lawyers will confer on the terms of our marriage.
I hate lawyers. Let a priest suffice. Am I not a man of honour? To do thee less than justice were a sin. Give me thy lips, we'll settle all within.
The end of the 3rd act. Act 4 of Falstaff's Wedding, 1766 version, by William Kenrick. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 4. Scene 1. A chamber. Enter Justice Shallow and Mrs. Quickley, dressed in tawdry clothes.
Nay, forsooth, Mr. Shallow, I am too young a widow, much too young to think of a second husband.
Not so, fair mistress. If to wed be good, the sooner married still the better sped. My assiduities will make you soon forget your former spouse.
Your assiduities indeed are very great, Mr. Shallow, but you are too pressing. I cannot so soon forget poor Quickley.
Aside.
What the good sheriff have I said?
Quickley? I thought your husband's name was...
Yes, and so it was, but I called him always Quickley, because he was ever so slow. He died, poor man, of a slow melancholy, always asleep, night and day asleep.
Ha! Addicted to somnolency.
Aye, so the doctors said. He died of a solemnity, and a solemn end, I warrant ye, he made of it.
He was too fat and corpulent, perhaps. I am leaner.
Yes, sir, he grew fat and burthened by sotting with his guests, instead of minding the main chance and scoring double.
Say you, mistress?
Mrs. Quickley, aside.
Blisters on my nimble tongue. I say, Mr. Shallow, he was rich, and keeping open house, had store of guests. That made a world of trouble.
Open house, and leave so much behind him. That is rare. He traded greatly.
Greatly, Mr. Shallow.
And bore arms?
2 pumpions on a cucumber bed.
They will quarter. I'll settle on thee fairly, widow.
Will you, Mr. Shallow?
Ecod, I will. Aye, twice as much for such another smile. Odds heart, that look shot through me like an arrow. Nay, I will kiss thee, Sackins will I.
They struggle. Shallow kisses her, and she breaks from him in affected anger.
Odds bods, a dainty widow.
You're rude, sir. I must leave you.
Exit.
Ha! Gone! Then Shallow shall not stay behind, but will pursue and force her to be kind.
Exit. Scene 2. Enter Mr. Slender and Dol Tearsheet.
Slender and tender, and no mere pretender. Ah, said I well, Mrs. Beatrice?
Aye, and sung well too, sir.
Nay, I have a sweet breath to sing with. That's the truth of it. And yet, I warrant you did not know. I could sing so well when you first fell in love with me.
Oh, fie, Mr. Slender, you make me blush. Young maidens should not be told so, though it were true. But pray, where learnt you now that I was in love with you? Who told you this?
Mary, that did my Uncle Shadow's fencing master, the Don with the hard name. I should otherwise have blushed more by half than you. Hang me, if you had caught me at failing in love first. But one good turn deserves another, as we say in the country.
To be sure, Mr. Slender hath parts.
Mary, would I might be hanged else. Why do you know that I have had maidens in love with me twice and once before now?
In the country, belike?
Yea, verily. There was Mrs. Anne Page of Windsor, would have given, I warrant you, more than I wot of, to be married to me.
And you would not have had her?
Yes, I would have had her then, but I know not how they cozened me, and married me to a great lubberly boy.
To a boy?
Yes, la. But for that trick, if ever I marry anybody again, I'll take care they don't wear duskskin breeches under their petticoats. That I will. Nay, it was no such laughing matter that I know of. Ecod, if you laugh so at me, handsome as you are, I'll go and tell my uncle. So I will.
Exit.
Go thy way, with God's blessing for a fool. Were it not for thy wealth, Dol Tearsheet would not follow thee.
Exit. Scene 3. Tavern in Eastcheap. Enter Falstaff, laughing.
Ha 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 ha! Don Antico del Pistolo! What a bombast rogue it is! I knew his handwriting the moment I saw it. But I have put a spike into the wheel of his contrivance. Dame Ursula and her maid have given these rascals encouragement. If they bite, the scoundrels will be hooked.
Enter Francis.
Sir John, here's the hobbling friar that has been so often to ask for you. Shall I say you are at home?
I let him in. What can the gouty precision want with me?
Scene 4. Enter Friar.
Peace be with you. Sir John, God save ye.
Thank thee, good father. What is your reverence's will?
I think thou dost not know me, Sir John. It is indeed many years since our personal intimacy. Your way of life and mine
were something different, father, to be sure, and though I may have seen you before, it is so long since I have been at shrift that I must crave your pardon if I have totally forgot you. And yet, your reverence may be my ghostly father, for aught I know.
Fie, fie, Sir John, a man of your age and gravity.
Ho! If your business be to chide me, I shut mine ears.
If you will not admit your wound to be probed, how can you expect to be cured, Sir John?
Cured? Splud! I took thee for a priest, and I find thou art a surgeon.
A spiritual one, Sir John, and such as your disorder requires.
Dost thou know my case, then? A spiritual surgeon, sayest thou? I am not given over by the surgeons bodily yet, who call in the divine till they have sent out the doctor.
I know your case well, Sir John. It is perhaps less your body than your mind that is infected.
Nay, like enough. I have indeed been damnably dispirited ever since the king's coronation. A confounded melancholy hangs upon me like a quotidian ague.
It is that melancholy, and the cause of it, Sir John, I would remove.
And how wouldst thou remove it? By providing me with a charge of horse and restoring me to the king's favour? I know no other way.
By inducing thee to repent, and be restored to the favour of the King of Kings, which thou hast forfeited by a dissolute and abandoned life. Dost thou not think thou art in a state of reprobation?
Pray, friar, by what authority dost thou take upon thee to catechize me? Dost thou come out of mere charity, or art thou employed by thy superiors?
Suppose the former, Sir John.
Suppose the former, Father Friar. Why, then the devil is so strong in me that I should be tempted to throw thee headlong downstairs for thy charitable impertinence.
Thy ill manners, Sir John, would be inexcusable, were it not to be supposed the consequence of an habitual antipathy to everything that is good. But I will not lay claim to greater merit than is my due. I am come by order of my Lord Chief Justice, who is so much your friend as to interest himself in your reformation.
My Lord Chief Justice! That's another matter. I cry thee mercy, reverend father. I find thou art not the man I took thee for. Your reverence does me honour, and I profess I am much indebted to his lordship's kind love and regard to my soul's health.
You'll hear me then, Sir John.
Yea, heaven forbid I should not. What I said was meant against those officious zealots, who are so forward to pry into men's consciences that will not bear the looking into.
Sir John, we know your failings, and shall not put you to the trouble of auricular confession at present.
There, friar, thou winst my heart. Come, sit thee down. Wilt drink a glass of sack?
Oh, I never do, Sir John.
I cry thee mercy, then. Here is to your reverence health. And now, I'll tell thee what. I do protest, I sit me now upon the stool of repentance, and have been honestly deliberating, some time past, to change my course of life. I am heartily tired of it. Indeed I am, good father.
I am glad to find thee in such promising dispositions, and think thou couldst not do better than to betake thyself, agreeable to his lordship's intentions, to some monastery, where thou wilt be secluded from temptations, and have all spiritual assistance to encourage thee to mortify the desires of the flesh.
Hold thee there, good father. Let me understand thee. What, would his lordship make a monk of me? I must there beg his pardon. A monk, and to mortify the flesh. For heaven's sake, good father, consider what a mortification indeed that must be to me, who have 6 times the quantity of any other man. If I must be included within the pale of the church, why not make a canon of me? Not indeed a minor canon, but a prebendary, or a bishop now. Something might be said for either of these, but for a monk, I know not anything I am less fit for, unless indeed his lordship had meant to make a running footman of me.
Nay, Sir John, his lordship will not use compulsion in this. he will not so far lay a restraint on your inclinations.
Oh, if I ever find myself that way inclined, his lordship may depend on it. I shall be as ready as ever to follow my inclinations. But the lesson of lean and sallow abstinence is very long and hard, good father. I am not gotten halfway through the first chapter yet.
Some steps, however, Sir John, you must take toward a more reputable way of life, and that speedily, too. Otherwise, you will be stripped of the honours of knighthood, and the king's sentence of banishment will be strictly put into execution against you.
As to the matter of knighthood, once a knight and always a knight, you know. The king may make as many knights as he pleases, but he will not so easily unmake them again. My title will not depend on the king's courtesy, but on that of my followers. I am, notwithstanding, very desirous to give his lordship satisfaction, and I do assure thee, on the honour of a soldier, of the sincerity of my repentance.
And yet this may be only a transitory fit of penitence, owing to your late disappointment. What reason canst thou give me to hope this state of mind will continue?
Why, father, what I am shortly going to do is an act that has confined many a man to a state of repentance, which hath continued to the last hour of his life.
This, Sir John, is saying something. Pray, what are you going to do?
I have taken a resolution, father, to... What dost thou think now it is I have resolved upon?
Some commendable act of penance, no doubt.
Nay, it may well be called so, I believe. I am determined, good father, to marry.
Call you that an act of penance, Sir John? Is marriage a state of mortification?
I wish I may not find it so.
Well, Sir John, marriage is a holy state, and in some degree I approve your resolution. But in the estimation of the Church it is also an holy act, and ought not to be entered into unadvisedly. Your repentance should precede your receiving the benefits of that sacrament.
Oh, doubt not, but I shall repent me sufficiently afterwards.
Ah, Sir John, I fear me you are no true penitent. But, however, it may be lawful to salve what cannot be effectually cured. I did not expect to make a convert at the first interview. If thou takest any measures that tend towards reformation, thou shalt have my prayers and best assistance therein. Another time I will hold farther conversation with thee.
In the meantime, good father, let me stand fair in your report to my Lord Chief Justice and his Majesty.
Thou shalt stand fairer than I fear thou deservest. Farewell.
Exit Friar. Scene 5. Tavern continued. Falstaff, solus.
Fare thee well, good father friar. What a hypocritical Puritan! Would not drink sack! Not with the ungodly, I suppose. But I am damnably mistaken, if he be not indebted for that rosy countenance and the gout to the penetrating qualities of old Sherris.
Scene 6. Enter Bardolph.
Well, Bardolph, what news dost thou bring?
Marry, Sir John, I have just seen a sight that you would have chuckled at.
And what is that?
Why, Mother Quickley and Doll Tearsheet, attired like dames of fashion, and courted by Justice Shallow and Master Slender. For my own part, I am out of the plot, but I find the contrivance is deep, the squires are caught. Pistol and Nym are somehow at the bottom of it. That's all I can learn.
Bardolph, those knaves would leave me and set up for themselves. The squires are mine, a lawful prey, and shall not be fed upon without our leave. Learn more, and I will bethink me how to counteract the villainous machinations of these renegades. But now, attend me forth.
Exeunt. Scene 7. Enter Ursula and Bridget.
Now, Bridget, mark me well. That errant knave, our Spanish suitor, will anon be here. Sir John requests that I do greet him kindly, and give him flattering earnest of success.
Doubt not my cunning. I've been taught ere while to set an egg upon its little end.
A granum secret, Bridget, but no more. What creature's that, who with enormous strides measures the pavement yonder?
'Tis the Don. I will be ready, madam, when you please, to scare him hence.
Exit Bridget.
Nay, he shall have some sour as well as sweet. Keen as he is, all honey is not meat.
Scene 8. Enter Pistol.
Fair dame, I kiss your hands. Your gentle brief, borne by the winged Mercury, came to hand, and sends your slave to meet his amorous doom.
I fear, sir, I have trespassed on the bounds of maiden modesty, to write so freely. What would the world say of this strange demeanour?
Breathes he ethereal air, will dare to cast reflections base on Ursula's fair name?
Indeed, Signor Anticho, I have a woman's timidity, and am apprehensive my behaviour in this particular will seem too light. Affections of so speedy growth are blamed, as weeds too rank to thrive in true love's garden.
No general rules without exception, lady. The object of your choice, Pistolo's fame, will silence all that hear and know his name.
In that I place my confidence, and yet a stranger, till his worth's approved, however noble his native soil, is open to suspicion. Not that your valour, birth, or virtuous fame I mean to question, but to please my fantasy and justify my conduct to the world, I would know more of your high rank and pedigree. What is the blazonry of its distinction?
Pistolo wears his coat upon his sword. Behold this blade.
Draws.
The very steel is dyed with blood of infidels, Jews, Turks, and Moors.
It hath a scurvy coat upon it, indeed.
True, lady. This snow-burnished Finsbury blade, tamed by young cutlers from their stock in trade, and in Moorfields on holidays displayed, a soldier's weapon this, that bravely fell in Palestine on Saracens pell-mell, the gift of that renowned and peerless paragon, Rodomontado hight, the King of Aragon.
And hath Pistolo's valour been shown in Palestine? That merit's great, I own.
There by this sword so many foes were slain, that it was called the flaming sword of Spain.
Putting up his sword.
Indeed, 'twere much a warrior to withstand, who comes victorious from the Holy Land.
Scene 9. Enter Bridget in a hurry.
Good gracious, madame, Sir John Falstaff!
Huh? Who? What's that? Falstaff, didst thou say?
No matter, sir, you shall not hence away. It is a quantum, sweetheart, whom for thee I shall dismiss with frowns, as thou shalt see.
Heavens, madame! I would not for the world Sir John should come in while the cavalier is here. We should have bloody doings, I warrant. Did not the knight, when he was here last, complain of your indifference, and vow vengeance on your new lover?
Pistol. Aside.
By Styx, he'll know and foil me.
Pooh! This gentleman fears him not, nor 20 such. Don Pistello's sword has been fleshed among the Moors.
Moors? Lackaday, what talk you of Moors? What are simple Moors to such a paramour as he? You know, madame, he is in desperation at the loss of your ladyship's affection.
Thou, Mistress Abigail, art in the right. Prior pretensions, if the knight doth boast, Why, happy man, he's dole, say I. Il primo venuto, il primo fervito.
How's this, signor? Shall not a woman of my age and fashion make my own choice? And can your honour thus desert your fortune?
Desert my fortune? Ha! Why? What? Oh, no!
Nay, nay, I claim protection from your sword against this rude intruder.
Furies.
Pauses.
Oh, I have it. Enough, thou say'st. My sword thou shalt command 'gainst pagan recreant or Christian knight. Come forth, Toledo.
Draws.
Ha! What's this I see? Oh, blunder vile, unfortunate mistake. My varlet hath equipped me with a foil, a blunt and battered foil, sans point and temper. It would not parry e'en a bulwark, this.
Throws away his sword, which Bridget picks up.
Bridget, let's see.
Takes the sword, and clapping the point to the ground, bends it double.
Alas, 'tis so it's plain. The flaming sword of Spain, the gift of that renowned and peerless paragon, Rhodomatundo hight, the King of Aragon.
Holding it up in derision. Turning to pistol.
Nay, do not take my humour thus amiss. I'm light of heart, but nothing meant to offend. As with this paltry foil thou canst not fight, myself will with it encounter this same night. Bridget will safe conduct thee to the gate. Go, and good tidings speedily await.
Exit Ursula. Scene 10. Pistol looking after her.
The gibbet be my portion, if I trow, whether she means to jilt me now or no. But satyr trahunt. Abigail, lead on. If Falstaff's near, 'tis time that I were gone.
Exeunt. Scene 11. A street. Enter Justice Shallow and Master Slender.
Take me this letter, I say, to Sir John Falstaff. That is his suttling house. I will maul his cloak-bag of chitterlings with my rapier, as I may.
And will you fight him, cousin? Well, hang me if I carry the challenge. I never could abide the thoughts of cold iron. Even a key put down my back for a bloody nose, ugh, 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 would always set me a-shuddering.
Don't tell me. If the law will not get me my money, I'll be revenged of him. The tun-bellied knave shall not make such a fool of me. I will have his blood or my money.
His blood? Oh, lud, oh, lud. Why, cousin Shallow, you are enough to...
Carry me this letter, I say, to Sir John Falstaff. What is it to you? If I am killed, you are my heir, and come in for my land and beeves. So do as I bid you.
Master Slender. Aside.
Ecod, that's true. I did not think of that. If my cousin's killed, I come in for his estate. Aye, I'll carry him the challenge. Hey, here he comes, with his bottle-nosed man, that picked my pocket at Windsor.
Scene 12. Street continued. Enter Falstaff and Bardolph.
Sir John Falstaff.
Sir John, Justice Shallow calls thee.
What would the blade of spearmint have with me? I have done with him.
But I have not yet done with you, Sir John. I would first have my £1,000 of you again.
You would, Master Shallow. Like enough. You must take me then in the humour. I am at present ill-disposed to your suit.
Tut, Sir John. I have said I will not tamely put up this wrong. If I do, I shall be flouted and gibed to death. I shall be pursued by the mockery of a whole 100.
Not unlikely. But believe me, the more you bustle in this business, the more you will expose yourself, the more you stir. You know the proverb, Master Shallow. It is a little homely, so let that pass. Yet, let me advise thee, rest content.
Content? I am not content. I cannot be content. Nay, I will not be content. Give me back the money, or I will have the satisfaction of thee.
Satisfaction, sayest thou? Why, thou wilt not dare me to the combat?
Such provocation would make a coward fight, Sir John.
If it make thee fight, I'll be sworn it would, for I have seen thee tremble at the shaking of a wheat ear.
To be bamboozled, cheated, laughed at? I will not put it up. By heavens, I will not put it up.
Well said, Master Shallow. Now I see that there's mettle in thee. But surely thou wouldest not be the first to break the peace, thou whose office it is to punish the breach of it.
Sir John, there are times and reasons for all things. If you will neither give me my money nor gentleman's satisfaction, I will have thee tossed in a blanket for a poltroon as thou art.
They must be stout carls, Master Shallow, that toss me in a blanket.
Well, well, we shall see. I'll parley with you no longer. Cousin Slender, don't stand still, shall I, but give him the note.
Aye, if Cuz is killed, I shall have his estate. And so, there's the challenge.
Exeunt Shallow and Slender. Scene 13. Falstaff and Bardolph.
A challenge! By the Lord, and it is a challenge! I am called upon here to meet him on Tower Hill uncontinentally at single rapier. Who? What a turlaroo! In the name of common sense is the fool turned madman? What means the simple Tony by this? To get his money again? Does he think by running me through the pericardium to become my heir at law? The fearful stag is at bay, and become desperate. But let me see, what's to be done here? I am in person too much of a knight to engage with so little a squire. I have it. Bardolph, I being your master and a knight, thou art by the laws of chivalry no less than a squire. Now, as I take it, this quarrel is properly thine. Thou must meet Justice Shallow at a single rapier.
Aye, Sir John. He has no quarrel against me. The challenge is given to your honour.
True, but I tell thee my honour disdains to encounter a pitiful squire. Thou must take my sword and fight him.
I shall only disgrace your arms, Sir John.
Go to, you will do well. He knows nothing of the sword, and should he challenge thee at pistols, put a charge into each barrel and present thy nose at him. He will never stand thy fire.
Indeed, Sir John, I must be excused. I never could fight in my life, unless there was something to be got by it. A booty on the highway or so.
Why, 'tis for £1,000, you rogue!
And where's the money?
At my cashier's.
Well then, Sir John, why should we fight for it?
Bardolph, thou art a coward. But no matter. I have a thought. I will meet him myself. Go, fetch the buckler I fought with at Shrewsbury.
Exeunt. End of Act 4. Act 5 of Falstaff's Wedding, 1766 version, by William Kenrick. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 5, Scene 1, Tower Hill. Enter Pistol and Justice Shallow, stripped for the combat.
Dread naught, brave squire, the knight's a coward rank.
I am glad to hear that, and yet I would I had had a lesson or two more before I had encountered him.
Bear thy point thus. Sir, friend Shallow, sir, Do thus, I say, and trust Pistolo's art. I to the buxom widow will relate this deed of prowess.
I will essay, but someone comes this way. Let us retire and try that pass again.
Exeunt. Scene 2. Enter Dr. Caius and his man.
Jack Rugby? Follow me, Jack Rugby. I have heard there is to be duel fought. Hereabouts? By and by? If the parties be not killed outright, they may want assistance. We must watch the opportunity, Jack Rugby.
To prevent the gentlemen fighting, sir?
To prevent their fighting? What have we to do with that? No, you fool, Jack. To take care of the wounded, that is my business.
But how if the other should run away?
By God, let him run. He be no patient for me. Come this way.
Exeunt. Scene 3. Enter Falstaff.
Aha! Aha! What a vile mist there is abroad today! I cannot see a sword's length before me. This must be the spot. But where is the adversary? I would not have him, methinks, lost in the fog. Master Shallow! Master Shallow!
Scene 4. Re-enter Shallow.
Aye, Sir John, here am I.
Saints and good angels guard us! What is this?
Come, Sir John, draw.
It calls me by my name, too. Jesu Maria. It is no deceptio visus. In the name of heaven and earth, what art thou? Oof? Fairy? Ghost? Hobgoblin? Or demon? Exorciso te, paternoster.
Come, Sir John, don't think to put me from my purpose. You know me very well. You know Justice Shallow to his cost.
How can this thing be Robert Shallow of Gloucestershire, Esquire, Justice of the Peace and of the Quorum? I took it for some strolling ghost escaped out of purgatory by all that's terrible.
Sir John, this mockery shall not suffice you.
Nay, it is true, as I am a sinner.
Will you fight me, Sir John, or will you not?
Fight thee? When thou seest the princely eagle descend to encounter the tomtit? What, shall the lofty elephant wield his proboscis against a mite? Shall Sir John Falstaff draw his martial sword against such a pig-widgeon as thou?
What then did you come here for, Sir John? If you would not be treated as a coward, lay down your target and draw.
Lay down my target, sayest thou? Who would be fooled then? Look ye, Master Shallow, since shallow thou wilt be. If I fight, it must be on equal terms. It is but equitable that my body should be secured when I engage with an unsubstantial form, a thing that has none. Dost thou think me such a goose-cap as to lay open this fair round belly to the point of thy rapier, when thou presentest not a mark for me? It were as good as pricking at a lottery 10,000 blanks to a prize, to make a thrust at thee. It were indeed more than a miracle to hit what, rhetorically speaking, is impalpable. But come, if thou must fight with me, thou shalt not say I dealt unfairly by thee. To draw my sword would be needless, for hit thee I never shall. That's flat. Therefore, Toledo, rest thou in thy scabbard. This is my ward.
Stands on his defence, with his target.
Carry thy point as thou wilt. If thou canst not come in to me before thou art weary, the money is mine. If thou dost, and woundest me, I will then keep it to pay the surgeon. So come on.
Sir John, you are a cowardly knave, and I will kill you if I can.
They fight. Mr. Shallow thrusts at Sir John, who receives his point always on his target.
Well said, Master Shallow. Bravo! To it again!
Shallow breaks his sword, and Falstaff closes with him, and seizes him by the collar, on which Shallow falls down on his knees, and Falstaff claps the target on his head.
Ha! Have I nabbed you? You should have appointed sticklers, Mr. Shallow. What if I cut thy throat now?
Taking off the target.
Sir John, my life is in your hands, but you know you have wronged me.
Well then, thy wrongs be forgotten, and on that condition I give thee back thy forfeited life.
And I hope also you won't bear malice, Sir John, against me for the future.
By the Lord, not I. I do admire thy magnanimity and valour. Why, thou art the very mirror of prowess and pink of squire errantry. John of Gaunt was a fool to thee. Were I a king, thou shouldest for this day's work be made a knight with all the honours of chivalry. Nay, by Our Lady, I will take majesty upon me, and knight thee myself. Rise up, Sir Robert Shallow, knight of the most horrible order of combatants and murderers of the 5th button. And now, Sir Robert, if thou dost not think the title I bestowed on thee worth the £1,000 I owe thee, I will for the first time make restitution. Thou shalt be repaid out of my wife's portion. For thou must know I am this night to be married, and have broke into the round sum to make handsome preparations for my nuptials.
I give thee joy, Sir John, and as I find there is still so much honour in thee, I will open my heart and confess to thee that both my nephew Slender and I are going to be married too.
Hey, to whom, Master Shallow, to whom?
I to the wealthy widow of Watling Street, and my nephew Slender to buxom Beatrice, her niece, of Bucklersbury.
Master Shallow, you are deceived, Master Shallow. I will be a friend to thee. The widow and her niece are impostors.
Impostors?
Whores! Whores, Master Shallow!
How? The widow of Watling Street and Mrs. Beatrice of Bucklersbury?
Go to, I mean thy widow. Give me thy hand. I will tell thee more as we pass along.
Exeunt. Scene 5. Enter Dr. Caius and his man.
They shake hands. Morbleu! And they be one brace of cowards. That fat knight never once draw his rapier. By God, did we not get more by de malady and de France than by de English courage. We should not get salt to our pottage, Paddy. But, by God, I will charge them both for my attendance, and if they no pay me, I will expose their no courage. Come along, Jack Rugby.
Exeunt. Scene 6. Enter Pistol.
The train takes fire, and all will soon be flame. The squires are gulled, and Dol and Quickley take for dames of wealth. The corporal plotted well.
Enter Nym, who gives Pistol a letter.
A letter for Madame Ursula. See if there's humour in it.
Ha! Prize or blank. I'll open it and see our fortune in the lottery book of fate.
Pistol reads to himself.
By Jove's bright welkin, 'tis a golden prize. Naught could withstand the flash of Pistol's prime. She writes us here she scorns the wassail knight, who keeps today high revels at the Globe, where if we meet we may in masquerade be sped. I to the mistress, you the maid.
Merry trap. The humour is good, but how shall we know them?
In purple garb, like nymphs, they'll be arrayed, and in feigned voices speak. The word is a sob. Let us about our own disguises straight. Money buys lands, but weddings go by fate.
Scene 7. A ballroom. Enter Falstaff, with Shallow and Slender, in dominoes, their masks in their hands.
Marry, Sir John, thou hast a pithy pericranium. This is a notable contrivance. I have appointed the parties, as you directed, to be dressed in purple, and to meet us among the revellers here at the Globe.
Thou hast done well, Master Shallow, and I see you and your nephew are clothed in the same disguises as Nym and Pistol. You shall see sport, Master Shallow. But see, the maskers come this way. I must go meet the bride.
Shallow and Slender put on their masks. Enter a number of maskers, among the rest, Pistol, Nym, Mrs. Quickley, and Doll. Re-enter Falstaff, leading in Ursula, followed by Bridget.
Gentles, you're welcome. You see I come unmasked among you. It were superfluous for him to hide his face, who could not be concealed for his belly. Could I mask that indeed, I might pass in disguise. But come, begin the dance. I hope there will yet be concealment enough in this revelry to defeat the rogueries contrived in darkness, and bring them to light.
Nym, who are those in purple vestments clad?
The two in green.
In robes of Tyrian dye.
By their garb they should be the parties. Let us accost them. The priest is ready without. We shall be speedy, and when sped, return unmasked to tantalise the night.
They go up to Quickley and Doll, and take them out. A dance. Pistol and Nym re-enter unmasked.
Pistol, how now? Wherefore hast dost thy mask? Art thou the master of this feast, or am I thine?
That is as fortune bids, and time shall show. Some mount aloof, while others truckle low. Sir Knight, no more your ancient and base tyke. Pistol was born to wield the potent pike.
Pistol, thou art always in the clouds. Art thou drunk, or hast thou got a commission?
Gold honour buys, and Ursula hath store.
How, rascal! Dost thou mean to rob my wife?
Thy wife? Marry, that were a good jest. I see the humour runs well.
Not thine, but mine, proud Basilisco knight. Without, just married, waits thy quondam flame.
To thee?
To me.
Nym, what sayest thou?
Marry, Sir John, that's the short of it, and I myself was just now married to Mrs. Bridget, her woman.
Falstaff, turning to Ursula.
Say, my fair Queen of Sheba, is this true? Unmask! Nay, gentles, all unmask, that we may see what faces are put on.
You, Sir John, can answer for me.
And you for me, madame. Marry a corporal indeed. The fellows are drunk.
Pistol and Nym look at each other with confusion and astonishment, during which time Mrs. Quickley and Dol Tearsheet enter unmasked, and passing by Pistol and Nym, who start back with fresh astonishment, go up to Justice Shallow and Master Slender.
How now, you bare-faced strumpets? What do you mean? This is no brothel. Play no gambles here.
Marry, come up, Sir John. You will not hinder my going to my husband. Mr. Shallow will protect me, my dear Mr. Shallow.
No, nor me neither, were he 20 Sir John Falstaffs. Sweet Mr. Slender.
Goody, Quickley, loose your hold, I pray you. I know you, Mrs. Quickley.
Aye, and I know you too, Mrs. Dorothy.
Oh ho, do you so? What, Sir John hath blown us, hath he? But no matter, he cannot unmarry us.
No, truly, that he can't.
Nor would I, for since whores and rogues have consorted, I have never seen four better matched.
I to wife Justice Shallow.
And I to foolish Mr. Slender.
Not so, hostess. Keep your distance, I pray you.
No, no, keep off, doll, keep off.
Plain doll? Do you hear that, Mrs. Slender?
And hostess truly. Do you take that, Mrs. Shallow?
Away, ye termagant jades, or I will demolish your frippery. There are your cuckolds. Pistol, Nym, why stand ye there like mutes? Are you fascinated at the success of your mummery? Or are you ruminating on the comforts of cuckoldom by anticipation? Take hence your crooked ribs.
Pistol and Nym go, and take Quickley and Dol by the hand.
What? Has there been a trick, then, played on us in these disguises? Was I married to you, Pistol?
Dame Quickley, thou art mine. The fates have crossed us.
Nay, I'll be sworn they have joined you.
And was I married to you, Nym?
Even so, doll. I am heartily sorry for it, but luck have turned tail upon us. That's the trick on't.
A very scurvy trick indeed. But I had so many husbands before, that one more or less breaks no squares with Doll. Come, Mrs. Quickley, be of good cheer. Pistol is better than nobody. He will protect thee, by out-swaggering the swaggerers.
Contented I, since so the fates decree, soldier no more, a victualler I'll be. The martial sword exchange for carving knife, and cut out viands for the means of life. No more in anger fight, but joyous dine, and stead of drawing blood, draw sparkling wine. Nay, should Sir John himself my service lack, at the boar's head he'll find a glass of sack.
But wilt thou put no lime in it, Pistol?
No, by Falernian Bacchus, for my knight.
Then will I be thy guest. Nay, by a lady, thou shalt for once be mine too. I will not break off the thread of our quondam familiarity with so little grace as Majesty hath done. I do invite ye all, therefore, to supper with me, and if you cannot laugh over the success of your own contrivances, be merry on the consummation of my nuptials. Come, spouse, though long indeed hath been our courting, we're not quite past the days of love and sporting. 'Tis true, a younger bridegroom had you sped, he might have been less prone to sleep in bed. Yet even in autumn some spring flowers may grow, as there are lilies in September blow. Youth's wild oats sown, 'tis ne'er too late to mend. The worst once past, the better is the end.
End of Act 5. Epilogue. Spoken by Mrs. Pritchard. Enters reading a card.
The Muse of Shakespeare's compliments. A card to excuse this evening's enterprising bard. Great his presumption to confess the truth, but as he pleads the passion of his youth, together with the magic of her charms, attracting him resistless to her arms, though somewhat by surprise she owns she's suffered, yet as no actual violence was offered, she's willing, if the audience should agree, for this one time to set the offender free. We women soon forgive, if not forget, the crimes our beauties make the men commit, especially when once we're past our prime, and Shakespeare's muse, like me, the worse for time. For though the charm with fancy ever young, though heavenly music dwell upon her tongue, lost many an artless smile and dimple sleek, which fat alluring on her virgin cheek, beauties that faded on the gazer's eye, and no cold cream of comment can supply. As for what Mercury and the prologue told ye, pray let not that from clemency withhold ye, that Hermes was of old a lying blade, and practised in imposture as his trade. The patron he, or classic lore deceives, of cheats, forestallers, higglers, hucksters, thieves. Besides, to tell you a stage trick of ours, but you'll not spread the secret out of doors. The man was no more Mercury than I am, Queen Hecuba, the wife of Trojan Priam, a messenger from Phoebus, he a god. I can assure you all 'twas Mr. Dodd. His dropping from the clouds was all a sham, and his pretended errand but a slam. We've heathen gods of pasteboard made to fly on hempen cords across the painted sky. Those canvas clouds that dangle there above, enveloping the throne itself of Jove. His tale fictitious too, though told so glib, for take it on my word, 'twas all a fib. Old Falstaff in Elysium, to my thinking, so great his natural tendency to sinking, that to the shades if he had once descended, to bring him back, not Atlas had pretended. Dramatic sprites, at least they tell me so, dwell not with saints above, nor devils below, but form the imagination to engage during their short-lived passage o'er the stage. As mere ideal characters exist, and stand as ciphers marked on nature's list. To genius given a delegated power to form these transient beings of an hour, which from this mimic world whene'er they go, are free to range in fancy's Pimlico. A limbo large and broad, which in the schools is called by some the paradise of fools. Fierce nature there, their preservation is purchased by no game association. The poaching plagiary alone denied, a privilege granted to each bard beside, who though a cottager to try his skill, may shoot or course or hunt them down at will. In his own paddock may the strays receive, and scorn to ask a lordly owner's leave. Not but that here the author of the play by me begs leave submissively to stay. None more than he reveres great Shakespeare's name, or glows with zeal to vindicate his fame.
End of Falstaff's Wedding, 1766 version, by William Kenrick.